Look at me. Hey everybody, it is Thursday, and normally I don't do videos on Thursday. Of course, if you honestly been keeping up, I said I wasn't gonna do them during the weekend, all because I have class and I'm gonna only do them on Sunday. But I've been having some conversations that it's like we need to talk. We need to talk. And so that's what I am here for tonight. And I'm in the middle trying to grab me a bite to eat, give me something to drink. I done started some food in this kitchen, so I don't have to cook tomorrow. And so while I get myself together and situated, while I'm waiting on a few more people to come in. But y'all, make sure y'all tag somebody. Excuse the background, y'all. I was cooking some. I ain't gonna tell y'all what I was fixing because some people might show up at my door. But I'm just gonna get me something to drink. Not no alcohol, and then I ain't got no red wine, so it won't be no alcohol. But I just want to share with y'all, and please tag a friend. Please let a friend. Girl, you'll be the one that'll be at my door. I already know. But please tag a friend, a lady. Y'all don't even have to be friends. If they on your Facebook, everybody supposed to be friends if they on your Facebook. We know some people just people watchers, but tag them, share it, let them know that this video is about to happen. I'm praying that this video really hit home for some people. And I feel like it is because it's hitting home with me in regards to the fact that this is an issue. I had my lights out, so hopefully y'all can see me better. But the fact that I done had quite a few conversations in the last week or so about this thing is, I feel like God's way of saying, I ain't bringing these people to you, and you ain't having conversations with these people about somewhere along the same lines without realizing that this is something that need to be discussed, need to be talked about. Hey, Tiffany girl, Riri, and whoever else is in here, say hey. Please get involved in this conversation. Please. I know y'all come on here, y'all watch my live. You may hear what I say and be like, oh, she's saying something good, I'm just gonna listen to her. But I want this to be a conversation. I really do. I'm supposed to be in class right now. But I felt like this was important and I can go back and get caught up on that. Do it this weekend if I need to. But I really did want to have this conversation. So I hope y'all Thursday been good. My juice. Tiffany, I need some red wine, girl. Amen to that, girl, Riri. I was thinking about it earlier today, and then when the other conversation popped off, I was like, okay, Jesus, I hear you. I hear you. So I feel like God put things on our heart and sometimes make it heavy. Sometimes because he's already given you a word for it. Sometimes it's because he's brought you to a place to where you can share something and encourage someone else to help them see that getting over that hump is possible. You know, for y'all that know me, y'all know I've been married. This is my third marriage. Used to years ago, I felt ashamed saying it was my second marriage, and here I am saying it's my third. And by no means at all does anything happen in vain. And I've learned a lot. I've grown a lot. But more so than anything, I've learned to love me and to set standards. Period, point blank, period. And sometimes I know, especially with Christian women, we struggle a lot with praying and trusting God and cutting people off. Divorce, different situation. That's something you have to take before God. Sometimes God releases us because we never meant to be married to that person. Sometimes God makes you sit there because he knows something on the other side of that. Whether y'all end up divorced a year from now, never get divorced, he knows that something else is going to come out of it. So when I say what I'm about to say about some things, a lot of it just refers to individuality. not necessarily ending relationships, but individuality more so than anything. But of course, divorce in the Bible is wrong, just like eating too much is wrong, and a whole lot of other things that we do. But I think sometimes we wear that word divorce like a band on our forehead, and so sometimes as Christian women, we stay because we feel and we have heard you ain't supposed to get divorced, you ain't supposed to this, well, you ain't supposed to cheat either. But people will go and cheat and say, oh, things happen, but people won't get divorced because they say the Bible says you're not supposed to get divorced. That's not my call. That's not my, I don't tell nobody to get no divorce. I don't tell nobody to stay married. I don't tell nobody to stay in a relationship, nobody to get out of a relationship. But I know we often stay for all the wrong reasons, I believe. And so, the food part, people don't think greed is in the Bible, but that's in there too. Overeating, lusting, negativity, lying, a whole list of things. But somehow the things that really, really break us the most and hurt us the most, we hold on to and then put a scripture on it to say, well, I got to stay and stick with this because I'm praying, because there's this person, because there's that person. You got to just seek God, because sometimes God will just release you. That's all it is too. God will release you. Marie, I'm going to eat some of my cake, girl. I don't need this, but I'm going to eat it. Okay. So, y'all, hopefully some old ladies will come in while we talking. I hope y'all get into this conversation. You already ate yours, child. You already ate yours. So, I hope y'all get into this. So, here we go. Ooh, that sounded fat, y'all. Okay. I've been having a lot of conversation with women where women are tolerating a whole lot. Women are allowing themselves to be walked on, cheated on, talked to any kind of way. We even allowing men to get around to us when they want to get around to us. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy to me. I've been married and divorced, and there has not been one time where, even in going through marriage and divorce, I have allowed myself to let somebody choose me when they feel like it. I ain't never been that desperate. I have never been that desperate. Because, now don't get me wrong, I done talked to and dealt with some people that I gave some time that probably shouldn't have had no time. But as far as when the rubber meets the road, you ain't gonna just get to me when you feel like it. You ain't gonna just treat me like I'ma always be here and you could just do whatever, say whatever, treat me however. That is not the case. And I don't know why we as women have begun to tolerate so much. And the crazy thing about it is, half of the time we tolerate stuff off of people who ain't got nothing to really offer for real. Nothing. Back in the day when grandma and them stayed, and back in the day when you hear, that they stayed with their husbands, they ain't leave those men provided. They took care of home. They was hard working. They got up and went to work every day. They took care of the cars. They did things. I'm not justifying some of the things that we all come to learn about back in the day. Well, granddad and them had another wife or another woman and children on the other side of town. All of that stuff, I'm not stepping on that. I know that has been real and very true for a lot of people. What I'm speaking to is I can somewhat understand a woman who don't really have anything financially, who stays with a man that she may find out has somebody else, but he pay all the bills. He don't disrespect her. She may know it's somebody, but he come home, he this, that, and the other. He makes sure her car is straight. He makes sure them kids are disciplined, whatever the case may be. So she tolerated a little bit more. But we are women out here tolerating things off of men who can't even pick us up and take us to the store. He can't keep a job. He don't want a job. He don't know how to talk to you. He don't even know what he want out of life himself. And you allow him to treat you any kind of way. How is that? You got broke niggas out here cheating on women like they the men with the money. And somehow, don't get me wrong, again, don't nobody be coming to me, oh, so they got money that make it right. No, that ain't what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is you don't have much of anything to offer me, and yet and still you treat me like you the prize. Like, oh, I can treat her like this. I got this going on. I pay her bills. I do this for her. I this, that, and the other. No. But I'm going to speak on 3 things that came from 3 different conversations I had with 3 different women. One of them is a conversation I had with my daughter. And we was having a conversation about being alone. That's the conversation. Being alone. And is there something wrong with not wanting to be alone? There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. But being alone don't mean lonely. See, we think that being with somebody means that you're not going to be lonely. You're going to have somebody there for you. You're going to have somebody you can trust. You're going to have this ride or die person. But let me tell y'all some real fun facts real quick. My first marriage, I was not alone, but I was lonely. All my husband wanted to do is work and sleep. He provided. I never wanted for anything. I always had nice cars, never had to worry about bills, but I was lonely because this was the person that I was in a relationship with, but we wasn't doing life together. We was just working and paying bills. I was more so taking care of the kids because he worked overnight so that he can watch them while I worked in the daytime. So you can't be alone in a marriage. That's how come I think sometimes when people be like, I just don't want to be alone. I deal with him because baby, let me say something. I sleep good by myself or not. Period. And I'm not going to say that happens overnight, but when I came out of my first marriage, what I realized is, Marquita, if you fight to not be alone, you're going to have a problem because you was alone even in a marriage. So if you get out here and get single and you start striving to just be connected to somebody else, no, that's not what it is. I was lonely. When I really sat down when I got out of my first marriage, what I realized in the tears that I shed was not that it was over. It was not that he left. It was not that I had to go to sleep on my friend's couch. It was not that I had to get on food stamps. It was not that I had to fight DHR cases to keep my kids. It was none of that brought the tears the most. What brought the tears the most is I realized that I had been lonely a long time. I was so busy worried about trying to make it work. We got kids together, this, that, and the other. And don't get me wrong, I would love for my marriage to have worked and been healthy. Healthy, okay? Not just work, but work and healthy. But when I really sat down and had a talk with myself, I had been lonely for years. He bought a motorcycle, but we never had time to ride it because all he wanted to do was work. He had a nice truck that I love, but we never really got to go in. He made good money, so we had money to travel, but he liked to work. He loved to make money. So I found myself being lonely. So don't get it misconstrued that being with somebody doesn't mean alone. Please don't do that to yourself. Don't deprive yourself. Don't rob yourself. Don't shortchange yourself by saying, if I got him, I ain't by myself. Sometimes you still by yourself. Sometimes you still got to take care of the kid by yourself. Sometimes you still got to figure out how to get the bills paid by yourself. Sometimes you still got to go and catch a movie by yourself. So don't get it mixed up thinking that being alone is bad. Because it's not. Because once I got out of that marriage and I was chilling, I went to church and mingled with my friends. And I went to my Bible study. I went out on little dates by myself. I went out on dates with my girlfriends. I went out on dates with my children. And I found myself being whole and content without a man. Without a husband. Without the person that we walk around thinking that we got to have so that we're not alone. A bae, a boo, a man, a girl, whatever your preference is. That's what we walk around thinking, and that is not the truth. So don't rob yourself of what God want to do for you by staying connected to somebody just to not be alone. Alone does not mean lonely. If you don't know nothing else, you ain't heard nothing else, alone does not mean lonely. 2, another conversation I had. Something happens between her and her guy. This ain't no first rodeo, second rodeo. They done been down this road a couple times. She know what it is. She done saw what it is. She seen with her own eyes. And then she tell me in her own words, I know what I saw and I heard what I heard. But I want him to tell me out his own mouth because I need closure. Closure from what? Only thing I'm closing is the door between me and you when I leave you. What closure? I got my closure when God exposed you. I got my closure when I already had that feeling in my gut that God had placed there, and then he showed me. I got my closure then. But so many people say, I can't move on because I need closure. I need to know why he did what he did. I need to know who she is. I need to know why. I need to know why. Why does the whys matter? Especially if you done and you over with. Now, for people who have been through some things and you're trying to heal your relationship and you're trying to move forward and have a marriage and so on and so forth like that, then you got to talk about some stuff. You got to get through some stuff and work through some stuff so that you can tear down and rebuild. I get that. But when you say you are done, I don't need a closure conversation. I don't have to have nothing from you. And 9 times out of 10, if a person been lying, sneaking, doing stuff behind your back and this, that, and the other, even in the conversation, they gonna lie to you. Even in the conversation, they gonna lie to you. So how is it women need closure and men move on? You don't hear no man run around telling me, man, I just need to talk to her. I need closure. Well, we don't be wanting closure. We be hoping that it's something said in that conversation that makes you feel like you want to give them another chance. That's all those conversations is about. That's all those conversations are about. Or a whole lot of questions that you ask him, or why you do this to me and why you don't choose me and why. He don't probably even know why. It's who he is as a person. But most conversations that we have when we talking about closure, it ain't for closure. It's you need somebody to either validate something in you, or you hoping that something happens within that conversation to say, we gonna try to make this work. He did say he did this, that, and the other, but he do really love me. Or yeah, this my 100th time catching him, but he did say that he tired of messing up and he gonna get it right this time. That's what closure conversations are for. Closure conversations are not moving on, because I don't need permission from nobody to move on from Marquita Peace. Nobody. That's my kids. That's a dog. That's a man. I don't have to sit down and have a conversation with nobody about me getting my peace. Nobody. And it saddens me that women put themselves through that just a lot of times to fall back into something that turns around and slaps them in the face again. Do away with that. Do away with that. I don't want to be alone, and do away with that closure. Do away with that. Because those things get you stuck. They get you stuck. That's all it do. It gets you stuck. And let me say, like I told my daughter, not want to be alone, there is nothing wrong with it. The problem is when your idea of not being alone means being attached to anybody. That's the problem. Because I can pray to God and say, God, I don't want to be alone when I'm 50. You know, I want to have a partner and I want to have somebody to do life with. But God, I trust you that if there's nobody for me at that time, that when there is somebody, you will send them to me and they'll take care of me and they'll protect my heart. But letting God know what you want is not the same as needing that thing to survive. That's not the same thing. I want $1 million, but I ain't gonna rob a bank to get it. I would just like to say, God, one day I'd like to be a millionaire. And if that's your plan for me, show me how to get there. Same thing with alone. God, I don't want to be alone, but I'm tired of being hurt. I'm tired of being lied to. I'm tired of being disrespected. God, show me how to be happy by myself. Show me that, how to be happy by myself. So even when the time comes and you send me the right man, I'm whole, I'm happy, I'm not jealous-hearted, I'm not insecure, I'm not second-guessing his love for me, I'm not tearing him down based off of what somebody else did. I am ready. So, not wanting to be alone, there's nothing wrong with it. But, what drives it? It's like want to be a millionaire, but you only want to be a millionaire to buy more things. If that's it, then that's pointless. But if you want to be a millionaire so you can feed homeless people, start a shelter, send your grandkids to college so that your children don't have to stress about it, start a business so you can have, what is it called? Generational wealth, like the Bible tells us to, then that makes sense. But to not want to be alone and to want to be a millionaire for all the wrong reasons, you setting yourself up for hurt and heartbreak. So do away with a long enclosure. And the other thing that I'm going to say from another conversation was a girlfriend of ours. We talked. And she said that, you know, her and her husband was going through and had been going back and forth. And for the past so many years, that he ain't been who he used to be. They had multiple conversations, you know, and now he's no longer in the house, but he come over from time to time. And then all of a sudden, he decided he want to pay for the divorce. And it crushed her. It crushed her. It didn't crush her because, let me say this the right way. It didn't crush her that it happened. I don't believe. I feel like it crushed her because we want to believe in people so much that we continue to allow people to walk over us and to disrespect us and think that we are optional. So the day that they decide not to choose us, we like, what the hell? Now, I done been putting up with you for 3-4 years. You've been doing this and doing that. You come over here from this time and you know, I let you come over here and hit it and whatever the case may be, and you just gonna decide you don't want me no more. We do that to ourselves, though. We do that to ourselves because by no means am I saying you run out here and you divorce your husband when y'all get in a bad season. But what I am saying is, at some point, you have to teach people to respect you. At some point, you have to teach people this is not okay, and this behavior will not be tolerated. If I got to separate myself from you and seek God and let God do what he going to do, if he lead me to divorce, he lead me to divorce. But I am not going to allow you to destroy me. I'm not going to allow you to think that you can be my husband but not be here every night and pop up when you want to, because you teach people how to treat you. You teach people how to love you. You teach people how to respect boundaries. That's husband, wives, children, whoever. You teach people that. Hey, Tori. You teach them. And if you tell somebody that you can walk all over me, do what you want to do, and I'm still going to open these arms up and welcome you and give myself to you, they'll never respect you. never respect you. And women always question, I do everything for him and I let this, and he still left me. Because don't no man want no woman who ain't got no respect and dignity for herself. I don't care what nobody say. Don't no man want no woman that let him treat her any kind of way. Hey Charles, no man wants it. Because man was created to be pushed into his purpose by his wife. That's why she was called his helpmeet. So if you let me treat you any kind of way, and if you let him walk all over you and you don't have no respect and no dignity for yourself, he will never choose you. Then you will see him get with somebody else who may not have everything you have, who don't look as good as you look, who whatever the case may be, but she don't play with him. She love him, she treat him like a man, but she let him know there are boundaries. There are standards. And if you come here with it, we gonna have a problem. Us as women, we have to do better by standing up for ourselves. And don't nobody respect nobody that don't respect themselves. I don't care what nobody say. Ain't that much love. You have to have some respect for yourself. And you have to stop being scared to let people go. It bothers me wholeheartedly that we spend so much time holding on to people out of fear of not finding somebody else, out of being alone, out of all the insecurities. Sometimes with me, when I got out of my divorce, I felt like I'd never meet nobody else. I had 4 kids. I'm like, ain't no man gonna want no woman with 4 kids. So on and so forth. And we have all these things that we have on our list of reasons we don't want to detach from people. But that, baby, let me tell you something. It's somebody for everybody in the right time and in the right season. But if you stay connected to people for all the wrong reasons, you are playing a part in your own heartbreak, your own miserable life. That's all you doing. You playing a part in that. I have a lot of patience, and I done been through my divorce to be able to tell you I'm the woman I am because I had to find my own voice. I'm the woman I am because I told my current husband I would draw this line in the sand and I will walk away from you before I marry you to let you know that I will not be disrespected. I will not be mistreated. And it's not because I'm better than you, and it's not because you're better than me, but it's because I would rather let you go and I go on about my business before I sit here and tolerate you not knowing how to treat me. And to him, it always came off of I didn't care, because men has been so used to women standing, accepting, and receiving anything. So what came across to him as me not caring was me saying, I finally learned what it is to speak up for me. And you're going to either choose me or you're going to choose you. But either way, you got to make a choice. Make people choose. And if people choose themselves, so be it. The best thing you can do for me, do for you, is to be honest with you. But don't choose me to keep me from being with somebody else. And please don't stay around here wasting my time just because you know I'm the good thing, but you don't want to grow up. So unfair. So unfair. But y'all women who sit and you allow the disrespect and you cry and you shed tears over people who would piss on you, it's heartbreaking. And to be having the conversations with these women lately who has lost their value, has lost what it is to love yourself so much to the degree that you would let somebody continuously disrespect you in the same way, and you just let it slide. How? Why? What makes them better than you? That was a conversation me and my husband had before. What makes you better than me that I have to tolerate your BS, but you expect to be treated with respect? That ain't how that works. I'm sorry. I'm a Christian. I'm married to him now, and I love him. I will never disrespect him. I will always honor him because God has called me to. That is a given. But I'm going to be respected. I'm going to be treated right. And everybody go through something. There's no perfect relationships, but women sitting out here tolerate being walked on, and you paying your own bills, and you taking care of your own kids. We had a whole conversation. Me and my husband said that men don't want to get married to women because women are so independent that they act like they don't need them. And what the case is, that is a problem within itself. But sometimes you have to be able to say, I'm willing to be independent by myself. I'm willing to be independent by myself, because at least if I'm independent by myself, I know what I'm getting. I know what I'm responsible for. I know what's going to happen. I know what's not going to happen, and what's in my control that I can do. But what is the sense in being in relationships with people who you can't even be who you going to be, for one, because you're scared you're going to run them off? Then a lot of us connected to immature men who jealous hearted, who insecure, who you got to validate them in everything just for them to feel like a man because you're a real woman. What is that? Teach people how to treat you. It was a man that I watched, him and his wife, and he was the first man I ever heard say, when you tell that man you leaving him, you tell him you put him out, you tell him whatever the case may be, he don't change because he done heard it so many times. But when he come home and his bag's at the bottom of the steps because he stayed out last night, he know things just shifted and you mean what you're saying. Sometimes you just got to show people that you ain't playing. And then you got to trust God. God, if it's meant, mend this thing. But God, if it's not, give me peace to keep moving. But I ain't looking back and I ain't begging nobody, and I don't need no closure, and I ain't scared to be alone. Miss me with all of that. Some of us need to just get shirts. I don't need no closure. I already closed the door. Some of us just need them. I'm not afraid to be alone. But I had these past conversations with these women, and it's just heartbreaking of the tolerance. Like the tolerance. I don't have some of the tolerance some of y'all have. I don't even know where y'all get it from. I'm a strong woman, don't get me wrong. And I love being able to be a woman. One thing I love about my husband, I tell him all the time, you're stronger than me, so I don't have to tame it down to make you feel like a man. I love that because I don't have to shift. God created me strong. There's a lot of stuff I've had to deal with. There's a lot of things I'm going to have to deal with. I need this strength. But some of y'all are walking around here so timid for people who don't care nothing about you, would break you with no hesitation. So why are you scared to stand up in your strength? Girl, Miss Maddox, girl, this is the thing that I have been having to try to teach my girls. Have respect for yourself. Don't let nobody just treat you any kind of way and think you're going to still be there. Because people have to know, if I'm going to choose me. I'm going to choose me. And sometimes we think that's selfish, but sometimes that's necessary. It is necessary if you don't want to lose your mind. It is necessary if you don't want to end up on Snap. It is necessary if you don't want to raise other broken girls. It's necessary. All of that is necessary. So when you tell yourself, it's a lot of stuff I've seen coming up that I just told myself I refuse to bring into my life, bring it to my children's life, because we have to make a choice. If this is something you know it hurt you, you know it scarred you, you know it was bad, and then you turn around and you pass the same behavior along and let your children see it. No. We got to do better as women. We have to do better as women. Encouraging each other, letting each other know it's okay to let go, letting each other know that you got this, you're beautiful, you can do anything that you want to do, God will get you over this, you ain't the first woman, so on and so forth. But this video, I just felt like I needed to take the time to make it. It's a little bit longer than I planned on it being, but I just want to encourage us women. Find your voice, be bold in who you are. Ask God for strength. Please ask God for strength, y'all. there are some ways and some areas in my life that I've had strength to handle some things and handle some situations in a way that if I wouldn't have prayed about it before, I would have been in the flesh. But y'all seek God. And I mean, everybody don't believe in praying. I ain't trying to force religion or nothing on you. If you need meditation to sit in the quiet and just reflect back over your life, whatever it takes. But get to a place where you can be honest with yourself. Yep. I heard somebody say a long time ago, everybody who focuses so hard on not being like their mama end up being like, oh, well, I ain't gonna do this, I ain't gonna do that. Now, because you be so busy trying not to that it just happens. Because the focus is there. So sometimes you just have to set your standards. And I think a lot of times too with women, we compromise on standards. You'll tell yourself, then I ain't gonna deal with this, I ain't gonna deal with that. And then we start making excuses to deal with it. Well, yeah, he don't work, he don't do this, but he do cook. Well, he work and stuff like that, but he don't help with the children and them, but at least he bring a check home. We start making excuses. And so before you know it, you've been in this toxic relationship for way too long because you done compromised on everything. Girl, them affirmations every day is something, I tell you. Because can't nobody reassure you like you can reassure yourself. Can't nobody reassure you like you can reassure yourself, because as you tell yourself, eventually you believe it. That's why they say it's power in the tongue. Life or death is in the power of the tongue. At some point, if you say it long enough, you stick to it long enough, at some point it's gonna be within you. At some point you're gonna live on it and it's gonna be part of who you are. But I just wanted to come on here and share and encourage some ladies, a lady, whoever, hard it reaches, hard it touches. You know, oh yeah, Riri, I know who hard it touches, to love you first and foremost. Because I think sometimes when we don't love ourselves, that's where a lot of the other stuff come in too. You just want somebody to love you. So you tolerate anything as long as it look like some shape, fashion, or form of love. That's what it come across as. Just, oh, he loved me because, he hugged me, hold my hand, whatever this stuff y'all identify as love. When all it is a pile of lust in the midst of hurt and heartbreak, and you just want to be appreciated. So it's just like, well, all this lust got you blind, and it ain't really love. Because love shouldn't hurt like it do. Love shouldn't hurt the way some of us has identified love. If I was a little kid and y'all wrote a book about some of the lifestyles we've lived that classified as the things that y'all have done and the things that y'all have tolerated, if you wrote me a book and I was an 8-year-old girl, I'd tell you, I don't want love. That's what I would say. I don't want, mama. Y'all can keep that love. You know what I'm saying? But when I learned what the love of Jesus looked like and I had something to compare it to, that's when I was like, oh, that's what love looked like from Jesus. That's why the Bible say, husbands, love your wife the way Christ loved the church. Because it's a certain type of love that is soft and it's tender and it's dependable and it's safe and it's consistent and it's all of those things. So a lot of us, even myself, we get out here and we get connected to things because it looks like love, because none of us has really ever truly experienced what love is. So when I fell in love with Jesus, that's when I really knew what love really supposed to be and what it really supposed to feel like. So I pray that y'all will share this video with some other women, that it will touch, change, transform, give women another way of looking at things, and that you will carry it in your heart and take it before God if it strikes anything in you, and that this video will bless you in a way that even my mind can't comprehend. Even your mind didn't comprehend when you clicked on here that it would. But I love each one of y'all. Tori, I see you, I call you. I love each one of y'all, and I thank God for you, and I thank God that you took the time to click on my channel. I must love y'all because it's classwork that I'm missing that I'm going to have to get caught up on. But I felt like it needed to be said, and I felt like it had been weighing on me pretty heavy. So, yeah, girl, I can pray out loud. I wouldn't. I had forgot about it, but I will. So y'all have a good night. Do something that reflects self-love. Manifestation, as Miss Maddox said, is everything. And that's even with me. I'm really having to learn in 2022 the power of speaking things into my life as I want them to be. You know, I look around and I see a lot of other things unfolding in other people's life, and I hear them just say, you know, I just spoke it into existence. I just spoke it into existence. And so, you know, and so that's what manifestation is, just speaking and believing that it's possible. For me, when I speak it into the air, I believe that Jesus can do it. Somebody else may just be believing it's going into the universe, whatever the case may be. But I just believe that if I say, God, this, and that, for my life, for my children's life, for my husband's life, my family and friends' life, the people who on this video, that I have spoken something into the air that is letting him know I trust him to do it according to how he want to do it. That's the thing. According to how he wants to do it. Sometimes we want God to do things our way. You know, sometimes we want to go and get ourselves in a situation, and then we want God to tweak that thing that benefits us. And that's just not how it works. It will break you in a way to rebuild you, but it don't always happen the way you want it to happen. So thank God for grace and mercy on anyway. So I'm going to pray us out, as my daughter has said, because I was finna just wrap this thing up. And y'all have a good night. I'm going to try to get this on Sundays until I finish my training. So on Sundays in the afternoon or evenings or something. I don't want to commit to a time because I'm not sure, but we're going to shoot for Sundays. So don't forget to share this video. Don't forget to like this video. Definitely don't forget to comment. If you just go back through it and something strikes in you and you like, girl, ... I'm here for it. But here we go, y'all. Dear God, we come to you as boldly as we know how. Thanking you for being God first and foremost. We thank you for your grace and your mercy. And God, more so than anything, we thank you for not giving us what we deserve. We know we get ourselves into situations. We know we have said, if you get us out of this, I won't do it again. We know we have said, God, I serve you. I spend more time with you, so on and so forth. And we have not upheld our end. But God, we thank you that you always hold up yours, that you're consistent in everything that you are and everything that you do. God, I come to you asking you to release women from relationships that weigh them down, that robs them of their purpose, that bring them to tears, that breaks them in ways that you didn't meant for them to be broken. God, I thank you that you are breaking generational curses right now, a broken home, broken women, broken children, and that you will rise up in us, God, so that we can take our rightful place as women in this world, so that we can be whole and healthy and prepare for whatever it is you have in store for us. God, what is it for you to send us a husband who is whole and ready if we're broken and not ready? So God, we ask that you will give us the strength to remove the things that are a distraction, that you will remind us that our first purpose is to please you and to save souls. God, and I thank you for just being so faithful all the time, full of grace, full of mercy, full of forgiveness, God, full of forgiveness. Full of forgiveness. God, I thank you. I thank you. I thank you. I thank you, God, because you don't do for us what you do for us because we don't deserve it. You do it because you are good. So, God, I ask that you would teach us as women that being good does not mean being abused, mistreated, walked on. That's not what it means. Being good just means being able to pray for somebody when they hurt you, being able to love people when they hurt you, being able to extend grace and forgiveness and mercy when they hurt you. That's what being good is. But to allow people into your space that mess with your mental state and destroys your self-worth and make you question everything that you are and everything that you was created to be, that's not who you are. That's not what you have called us into. You've called us to be humble, loving, kind, where everything come with boundaries.
Everything come with boundaries. And if we don't set them, God, we will be forever walking in a world of misery, broken, passing it on to our daughters who grow up and allow men to mistreat them and talk to them any kind of way and do what they want to do. That is not of God. That is not you. And I refuse to believe that the best that you have to give us and the best that you want for us is to settle with people who destroy so much of who we are. God, help us to not partake in our own self-destruction by staying connected to people who have no self-value themselves. How can somebody value you if they don't value themselves? God, I thank you that you have brought us to this moment. I thank you that our lives would never be the same because we acknowledge where we are going wrong. And God, I thank you that as we move out the way that you step in so that we can get to where you want us to be day by day, hour by hour. God, we ask that you remove our plans and implement yours so that we can fulfill our purpose. Because what is it to gain this life and to lose our soul? In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. I love y'all. I pray that y'all are blessed. I pray that God manifests things in your life based on what you are believing for your life, what I am believing for your life, and that you will be renewed, you will be refreshed, and you will find value in who you are as a person. You're welcome, Riri. I love y'all, ladies. Y'all have a good night. Don't forget to share. I love you too, honey. Please don't forget to share. This video got my heart so heavy. Oh, but this video got my heart so heavy. Ew. So sad. It's so sad. It's so sad. But you know what? You shall reap what you sow. And if you out here sowing love and you out here sowing kindness and you out here being good to people, don't let nobody take that from you. Don't let nobody rob you of that. Just disconnect yourself from the people who can't appreciate it. Love them from a distance, pray for them, and let them go on about their business. And when the time comes, God will reward you for every heartache, for every tear, for every broken piece. He will reward you. So never get tired of doing the right thing. Never get tired of being good to people. And like I said, this is my third marriage, and I don't treat my husband like it was two before him. He is his own person. If he get treated in a way that is not to his liking, it's because of something he's done. It's not because I'm carrying and being mean and building this, that, and the other because I'm going to make him pay for what somebody else has done. No. Believe me, you reap what you sow. And if you sow into good people and they didn't do right by you, don't walk around thinking you can't be good. And next man come in your life, you're going to keep your guard up just in case. Don't rob yourself of that. Trust God that he going to reward you. So I love y'all. His word don't lie. It come to life every day. And so y'all have a good night. I'm going here and finish cooking and go ahead and get caught up on some classwork that I'm behind now. Good night, y'all.